Welcome everybody to Real Love,
Real talk,
Real Estate. I'm Thomas, and this is my lovely, illustrious, wonderful wife, Leslie Ann.
And last time we talked about what's the secret sauce to our marriage, right? We shared that communication was the core, I would say. Of course, Christ being the core, but
Second to God, yes.
communication as well, right? There's some other things, right? It can't just be all communication. There's some other things that go into that as well. So, what's another word that really resonates with us?
Well, we talked about Christ, we talked about communication, so let's keep it in line with the C's. Today we're going to talk about compromise.
Compromise. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Compromise is a huge one, right? Because it's really about meeting each other where we are, right? But you also don't want to lose yourself in the midst of compromising, right? And so there have been times, yeah, when I can't get the words out, right? There's times I'm like, I don't really want to do that, but okay, fine, for the
You make it sound like it's one-sided though. Like I got to compromise with you too. Like yeah,
I know it is not one sided, but I do agree. I think we balance it out, right? It's not a scorecard or like I did something this time, so next time you got to
Yeah, not
compromise
tit for
or
tat, not tit for tat.
not
Yeah,
at all.
yeah.
But it is good to be able to trust you, right? To know that like you will compromise, and so will I. When needed. So what's top of mind for you? Like, what's an example of a time that we had to compromise? That's like, yeah, yeah, that one. That's the one.
Well, there was that time where you had to compromise. Actually, no, I had to compromise.
Okay, what
I
was
had to
it? What
compromise.
was
I
it?
thought you had to compromise because it was me. So
Yeah.
but no, I had to compromise. So once upon a time, myself and the girls, we did kung fu, uh, and I was doing two different styles, and so they were on different days of the week. And it started off, the girls and I going twice a week, but then the other style was just for adults. So I started going to that one twice a week, and somebody didn't really like me going 4 times a week. I mean, it's only 4 times a week, it's 7 days in a week. But anyway, so she wasn't really cool with that. And so she let me know how she felt, and I felt otherwise, like it was fine because, I was doing something constructive and healthy. And she didn't like that. So tell them what you did.
Well, that was the story that I was thinking of too, honestly. And I do remember it quite differently. So, did you say something about 4 days a week, it
Yeah,
being twice for you and then twice for the girls?
yeah.
Or you said that's what happened later on?
No,
Because
that
that's what
happened later
happened
on.
later on.
That happened
Okay,
later
so I
on.
just want to make sure that I was like, did I
No,
miss
no,
something there?
no.
Okay.
So let me set the record straight. It was twice a week with the girls and I, but then with the other style, which was just for adults, it became twice a week for that too. So a total of 4 times a week.
Right, but that's what you were doing. But the reality is, y'all, he don't remember the story right. The reality was he was trying to do 4 times a week, period, like on his own. It actually worked in your favor eventually when the girls started to do it because then it became 4 times a week. Just it happened, right? You forget the story, it's
Yeah,
okay. But anywho, you said, what did I do, right? So I was not pleased, right? I was upset. Like, you
Heated.
can't be out here every day of the week because that's what it felt like, right? More than half the week, you're going to be out. I'm not trying to hear that. So I kind of gave you the silent treatment a little bit, right? I mean, I definitely said, good morning, or maybe not even good morning, but like, hi. Bye, I'm leaving, but I kept it very cordial. It was a cordial relationship at that for that week, right?
It was a week.
And then what happened? You don't even remember.
I said, forget you then. And that was just, I mean, no.
He
So
didn't say
I didn't say that. So I realized how upset it actually made her. And I realized that I had to compromise, right? I had to figure out, okay, which days do I actually need to be there? And which days am I going to forego or forfeit, if you will, um, to make my wife happy? And I think that that is the major factor in compromising is to make your significant other, your partner, happy. It's not always going to work out that way. There's always going to be some give and take, but that was the part that I needed to play in order to maintain a happy household.
So I'll say, like, full circle, right? When we talk about communication being important, it was very important for me to communicate to you how upset that made me. And I did. But you didn't quite get how seriously upset I was, right? And so through I'm gonna call it silent treatment, even though I still talk to you, but it wasn't like our usual talk, right? Because we talked about, we talk a whole lot, right?
Wasn't
So
our
it went
usual
down to just
communication.
like boop, just the needs to knows. I'm here at work, on my way back home. Hey, I'm back, right? It was very like just the touch points that he needed to know versus the extras, and so you knew something was going on, and he knew I was very upset, right? At that point, it was like, okay, it's been a couple of days, and she's like really holding strong with this. You did send me some flowers, boo. You don't remember that?
I sent you some flowers. I did send flowers.
You were like, this is serious.
As an apology, I sent flowers, but I didn't just send flowers. I actually changed what was making her mad. Flowers would have been just a Band-Aid had I continued. So,
Correct.
Definitely an area that I compromised on because, it has to work with both parties. It has to work. So.
Yes. It ended up working out for you because you ended up going 4 days a week. So it's all good. Like it happened because it just worked out that way.
But let the record show that I did make my changes.
He did.
I did.
And I appreciate you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You know one thing too, before we wrap, I wanted to, because I forgot to say this, for communication, your listening skills are just amazing. Like when you have a man that listens to you, ladies, it is, out of this world. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
That was like the very start of our relationship. We're not going to talk about that. I can't unpack everything now.
Again,
But
another conversation for another time.
yes, absolutely. So,
But my listening skills are second to none.
unmatched, I'd say. All right, well, that's about it for this one, right?
What about times that I need to compromise, like, or no, you?
That I need to know?
Yeah, times. Yeah. Times that I was like,
I think we're out of time, and I really can't even think of one. So,
gotta
go. Until next time, y'all. I'm Leslie. This is Thomas. We're on Real Love,
Real talk,
Real Estate. Bye, y'all.